This is the story of the most loyal, rebellious, reckless, and fearless Marauder. This is the story of Sirius Black, a man whose life was marked by loss and whose death came far too soon. Sirius Black's life was nothing short of tragic. He lost his best friend too soon, was betrayed by another, and spent 12 long years in Azkaban for a crime he didn't commit. When he finally escaped to seek revenge, he failed to capture the real traitor, and unbeknownst to him, spent the remaining 2 years of his life in hiding. Another prison for Sirius, as it went against his very nature to have others fight his battles.
I wouldn't mind if I could just get out occasionally and do something useful.
In the end, Sirius fell during what he longed for, fighting Voldemort's forces. He was struck to the chest and fell through the veil. The Black family was a pure blood family who valued blood status above all else. Evidently, it was expected for the Black family to be sorted into Slytherin at Hogwarts, until Sirius Black came along.
My whole family have been in Slytherin. Maybe I'll break the tradition.
Sirius from an early age was a rebel who could not adopt his family's views, nor the importance they put on blood status. And to his family's horror, the Sorting Hat placed him in Gryffindor. Little did Sirius know how this very first train ride from platform 9 3/4 would seal his life and future. Sirius met James Potter on his first ride in the Hogwarts Express, sharing a compartment with James, Lily Evans, and Severus Snape. This would be the beginning of a lifelong friendship and a lifelong feud between James, Snape, and himself. But if Sirius was a rebel and rejected his family's values, he was also reckless. Through his years at Hogwarts, he created the strongest bond with James Potter, Remus Lupin, and Peter Pettigrew. Mischievous, they became the closest, Sirius being the only one who could temper or encourage James' worst habits. And aside from breaking the rules, their favorite thing to do was to torment Snape. Snape, whom he hated for being nosy, trying to get them expelled. In reality, Snape's mindset was closely aligned to Sirius' family values. It was no wonder that Sirius hated him. So Sirius bullied and encouraged James to bully Snape. And while Sirius hated his home,
I'd had enough.
his life would be even further ostracized from his family when his younger brother, Regulus Black, would come to Hogwarts. Proud of the family values, following in the steps of the long line of Slytherin, and looking forward to joining Voldemort after graduating. And so Sirius continued being the odd man out, the only Gryffindor in a long lineage of proud Slytherin, despised by his mother, different from his brother, the shame of the family.
My idiot brother, he was younger than me, and a much better son, as I was constantly reminded.
And finally running away from home to go to James when he was 16.
I hated the whole lot of them. My parents, with their pure blood mania, convinced that to be a black mage you're practically royal.
Sirius was loyal to a fault, and after James discovered Remus' furry little problem in their second years, they became unregistered Animagi in their 5th years, and so became their years of roaming the school, breaking more rules, and discovering more than anyone the grounds at Hogwarts. And it is through their roaming that they became the Marauders and created the Marauders map. But as his recklessness continued to grow, often not understanding the gravity of the situation, he decided to teach Snape a lesson on a full moon.
It served him right. Sneaking around, trying to find out what we were up to, hoping he could get us expelled.
This considered a prank by Sirius when he decided to tell Snape that if he wanted to know the truth about Remus, how to get under the Romping Willow through the tunnel to the Shrieking Shack. And for Sirius, what was a funny prank almost cost Snape his life and exposed Lupin's truth. This only added fuel to the hatred between Snape and the Marauders. But it is still a loyal, fearless Sirius who, now 17, living on his own using the money his uncle Alfred left him, who leaves Hogwarts, hitching to fight Voldemort. And after leaving Hogwarts and joining the Order of the Phoenix, this became a personal fight for him. Not only had he lost his brother to the Dark Lord, but when he knew that Voldemort was after James and Lily and their newborn Harry, James who he considered a brother, James who chose Sirius to be his best man at his wedding, and to be Harry's godfather. And to Sirius, the ultimate sacrifice will be to become the secret keeper of the Potters, knowing that Voldemort would come after him and he would die before betraying Lily and James. And so, to trick Voldemort, Sirius, who couldn't wait to put his life in danger, changed his mind, convincing James and Lily to make Peter their secret keeper. Peter, whom he knew was weak, sneaky, and a coward. He knew that no one would ever think Wormtail to be a secret keeper. Remus was on a mission for the other. Peter would be hiding, the Potters would be safe, and he, Sirius, would run risking his life if caught by Voldemort. It was the perfect plan, an ironclad plan. And on the night he was about to leave, he did one final check on Peter. And when he couldn't find him, with no sign of struggle, the sentiment, the suspicion growing louder in his heart, he rushed to the Potters to face the crushing reality of what had happened. His plan had failed. Peter was, in fact, the spy, the traitor, and this tragedy was confirmed when he saw the Potter's house destroyed and their lifeless bodies. Angry and guilty, Sirius left his bike to Hagrid, sought Peter, and when he faced him the next day, underestimated to which length Peter was willing to go to save his own skin.